The atrocities of Nazi Germany are well documented, with the SS Schutzstaffel playing a central role in the Holocaust's horrors. But within this evil system, a lesser-known element existed: the female SS guards. While history often focuses on male perpetrators, these women actively participated in the Nazi regime's brutality. This list explores 8 of the most infamous female SS guards, whose actions defy easy explanation. We will delve into their motivations, the depths of their cruelty, and the chilling reality that such evil could manifest in anyone, regardless of gender. This is not a journey for the faint of heart, but a necessary exploration of a dark chapter in human history. 1. Elisabeth Vulcan, the Angel of Death in High Heels. Born in 1919 in Silesia, Germany, she worked as a hairdresser. In November 1944, she was transferred to Bergen-Belsen. Elisabeth Vulcan, a seemingly ordinary woman, became a monster known as the Angel of Death. Vulcan began as a regular worker before volunteering at Ravensbrück concentration camp. Her reasons remain unclear. At Ravensbrück, she participated in selections, sending countless prisoners to their deaths. Vulcan's cruelty thrived at Auschwitz, where she became the head female guard. She reveled in her power, even participating in executions, exceeding expectations of her role. Survivors describe her as a sadist who enjoyed inflicting pain. Captured after the war, Vulcan faced justice at the Belsen trial. Sentenced to death, she was hanged in 1945. Her demise marked the end of a life dedicated to inflicting suffering. Elisabeth Vulcan's story is a stark reminder that monstrous acts of cruelty can be perpetrated by anyone, regardless of gender or background. Her seemingly ordinary beginnings mask a descent into a darkness that chills the soul. While the exact reasons behind her transformation remain unclear, her actions speak for themselves. Vulcan's legacy is one of unchecked evil, a horrifying testament to the depths of human depravity. 2. Irma Grei, the hyena of Auschwitz. Irma Grei, another chilling figure alongside Elisabeth Vulcan, embodied the ruthless efficiency of the Nazi regime. Here's a detailed look at her life and crimes. From farm girl to SS sadist. Born in 1923 in a small German village, Irma Grei's early life offered no hint of the monster she would become. After leaving school at 14, she worked various jobs before applying to be a nurse at an SS hospital. Rejected, she ended up at Ravensbrück concentration camp in 1942, starting as a guard at the young age of 18. Her rapid rise to relentless cruelty. Ravensbrück became Grei's training ground for cruelty. She proved her zeal for Nazi ideology and her willingness to inflict violence. Her sadistic tendencies were quickly recognized, leading to promotions. By 1943, at just 20 years old, Grei was transferred to the infamous Auschwitz-Birkenau death camp. There, she became the supervisor of the women's section, wielding immense power over thousands of prisoners. The hyena of Auschwitz, Grei's cruelty earned her the nickname the Hyena of Auschwitz. She reveled in inflicting physical and psychological pain, carrying a whip she used to unleash brutal beatings. Selection for the gas chambers became a twisted game for her, toying with the fate of prisoners. Survivors' testimonies paint a horrific picture of Grei's sadism. She enjoyed manipulating prisoners, setting them against each other, and even selecting them for sexual abuse. In 1945, with the Red Army approaching Auschwitz, Grei was transferred to Bergen-Belsen concentration camp. Here, she became the warden of the women's section, continuing her reign of terror. When British forces liberated Bergen-Belsen in April 1945, they were met with scenes of unimaginable horror. Grei was captured and put on trial. The Belsen trial in 1945 saw Grei tried for her crimes against humanity. Convicted on multiple counts, including murder, she showed no remorse. At the age of 22, Irma Grei was hanged in December 1945. Her execution marked the end of a life dedicated to inflicting suffering, but her legacy as a symbol of Nazi barbarity endures. 3. Dorothy Binz, the Beast of Ravensbrück. Dorothy Binz, a Nazi SS guard, rose through the ranks at Ravensbrück concentration camp, becoming a key figure in its horrific operations. Starting as a guard in 1939, Binz displayed a willingness to inflict cruelty. By 1941, she became deputy head of the bunker torture section, participating in beatings and executions. Her rise continued to head of the cell block, overseeing punishments, selections for death, and medical experiments. Despite fleeing in 1945, Binz was captured by British forces and tried for war crimes. Found guilty, she was sentenced to death by hanging in 1947. While Binz met her end, Her story serves as a chilling reminder of the capacity for evil and the importance of safeguarding human rights. 4. Ilsa Coke, the Witch of Buchenwald. Ilsa Coke, the wife of a concentration camp commandant Karl Koch, became a chilling symbol of Nazi barbarity. Here's a condensed look at her monstrous deeds and demise. Ilsa wasn't an official guard, but the wife of Buchenwald, and later Majdanek, camp commandant Karl Otto Koch. She reveled in her husband's power and embraced Nazi ideology. While holding no official position, Ilsa actively participated in camp activities. She reveled in inflicting cruelty, taking pleasure in public beatings, and accumulating grotesque souvenirs like shrunken heads of prisoners. The most notorious accusation is her selection of tattooed prisoners for lampshades, gloves, and bookbindings made from their skin. While evidence remains debated, survivors confirmed her delight in collecting such trophies. Captured after the war, Ilsa was tried at Buchenwald in 1947. Though not convicted for lampshades, her crimes against humanity earned her a life sentence. Later sentence reductions and public outcry led to her re-imprisonment and a final life sentence in 1952. Unable to escape her monstrous legacy, Ilsa Coke committed suicide in prison in 1967. Her death marked the end of a life dedicated to cruelty, but her story serves as a grim reminder of the depths of human darkness. 5. Hertha Oberheuser, the Doctor of Ravensbrück. Oberheuser, a qualified physician, collaborated with the Nazis. At Ravensbrück concentration camp, she assisted Dr. Gebhardt in his horrific experiments on women prisoners. These experiments focused on the effects of freezing and sulfa drugs, causing immense suffering and often death. Oberheuser wasn't a passive observer. She actively conducted painful bone marrow extractions without anesthesia and oversaw procedures leading to hypothermia and gangrene. After the war, Oberheuser faced justice at the Nuremberg doctors' trial. Found guilty of crimes against humanity, she received a 20-year sentence, later reduced to 10 years. She was released in 1952. Despite losing her medical license, Oberheuser briefly practiced medicine again before public outcry forced its revocation. She lived a relatively quiet life until her death in 1978, never expressing remorse for her hideous actions. Her story serves as a stark reminder that even healers can become monsters, and the importance of upholding ethical principles in the face of darkness. 6. Wana Borman, the Woman with the Dogs. Wana Borman, a seemingly ordinary woman, transformed into a monster known as the Weasel. Here's a quick rundown. Starting as a civilian worker in a concentration camp, Borman joined the SS, embracing cruelty. Her sadistic streak earned her this nickname as she used a dog to attack prisoners. Borman spread her cruelty across multiple camps, inflicting suffering on countless prisoners. After the war, survivors' accounts exposed her crimes. She was found guilty and hanged in 1945. Borman's story is a chilling reminder of how evil can lurk beneath the surface of anyone. 7. Alice Orlowski, the Whip of Mother. From German citizen to concentration camp guard unknown. During World War II, she served as a guard at several Nazi concentration camps in occupied Poland, including Auschwitz. After the war, Orlowski faced justice at the Auschwitz trial in 1947. She was sentenced to 15 years in prison, but only served 10 before being released in 1957. However, a chilling revelation emerged in 1973. While living as a pensioner in West Germany, Orlowski reportedly muttered that only half the work had been finished, referring to the Holocaust. This statement sparked outrage, leading to her arrest and conviction for hate speech. She received a 10-month prison sentence. Alice Orlowski died in 1976. Her story serves as a chilling reminder that evil can manifest in anyone, regardless of appearance. 8. Maria Mandal, the Beast of Auschwitz. Maria Mandal, a seemingly ordinary Austrian woman, transformed into a monster known as the Beast of Auschwitz. Born in 1912, Mandal's early life gave no clue of the horrors she would inflict. She wasn't a hardened criminal but entered the SS ranks in 1942. Assigned to Auschwitz-Birkenau, the largest extermination camp, Mandal quickly rose through the ranks. Her ruthlessness and willingness to participate in unimaginable acts made her a favorite of the SS leadership. She became the Oberau-F-Seherin. This power unleashed the true monster within Mandal. She personally participated in selections for the gas chambers, deciding the fate of countless women and children. One of Mandal's most disturbing acts was the creation of the Women's Orchestra of Auschwitz. These female prisoners were forced to play music during roll calls, executions, and transports to the gas chambers. The haunting melodies became a sickening soundtrack to the camp's atrocities, adding a layer of depravity to the suffering. As the war neared its end, Mandal fled Auschwitz in 1945. However, her escape was short-lived. Captured by British forces, she faced trial in Krakow in 1947. The mountain of evidence against her painted a clear picture of her monstrous deeds. Maria Mandal was sentenced to death by hanging, which was carried out in 1948. Tell us what you think about these women in the comment section. If you find this video interesting, kindly give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more intriguing content.